আমরা লাইভ শুরু করেছি। আজকে আমাদের এডিনবরা বৈঠকের লাইভ অনুষ্ঠানে আমাদের সাথে আছেন প্রফেসর জ্যোতির্ময়ী দাস, যিনি ভারতবর্ষের সর্বোচ্চ সায়েন্টিফিক অ্যাওয়ার্ড শান্তস্বরূপ ভটনাগর অ্যাওয়ার্ড পেয়েছেন 2020 সালে, এবং তিনি পেয়েছেন কেমিক্যাল ফিল্ডে, কেমিক্যাল বায়োলজি, কেমিস্ট্রি ফিল্ডে। এবং এটা ওনাকে আমাদের এই বৈঠকের মধ্যে পেয়ে আমরা খুবই আপ্লুত ভাবে এবং অভিনন্দন জানাচ্ছি, কারণ ভারতবর্ষ থেকে এখন অব্দি টোটাল সর্বসাকুল্যে 4 জন মহিলা এই অ্যাওয়ার্ড পেয়েছেন কেমিস্ট্রিতে। এবং যদি পার্সেন্টেজ অফ মেল আর ফিমেল দেখা হয়, মাত্র 3% মহিলার মধ্যে উনি পড়েন যারা এই অ্যাওয়ার্ডটা পেয়েছেন। তো ওনাকে আমরা খুব ভালোভাবে ইয়ে জানাচ্ছি। সো ওয়েলকাম ইউ ম্যাডাম। So you are muted. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yes. So in the beginning, so all the beginning. So how was your childhood? We want to discuss with you. So you are from a Jagat Singhpur, a small village from Odisha.
Yeah. First of all, namaskar, Sandhya, and good evening to all of you.
Yes.
And I would first like to thank Dr. Sumit Konar for inviting me to this interactive session of Edinburgh Boithak. And I would also like to thank Dr. Moonmoon Dev and Dr. Dipta Sengupta for organizing this program.
Yes.
And as you said that my early days, I would just like to say a little bit about my early days. So I was born and brought up in a small village, and this is like in the coastal region of Odisha. And my parents school teachers, and they were school teachers. They are now retired. And I grew up in an atmosphere of teaching, learning, and discipline. And I received my elementary education from the village school and in my mother tongue, that is Odia. And then I completed my BSc from Swami Vivekanand Memorial College, which is also near my town. But what I would like to say that as today you have invited me for this, from my childhood, I was very curious, to explore new things. And I have also been fascinated by the wonders of the nature. And from the very beginning, I had a passion for learning science. I think I would just like to say this much about my early days.
So you are like to play. So already you are in the beginning of the childhood. So when you studied in school, so you like to do the study, or you like to play and do the other hobbies you have during your childhood period?
No, actually that is something special about me. Like when all the children they go to play and all, so I would be just reading books and the stories that my parents used to narrate us. I was trying to write them in my own words. So these are the things I don't go outside, and that that also remains with me until now. And that I don't explore anything about the outer world.
So I was looking into your other interviews, and you have got your prizes in debate and essay writing. So you are
yes, exactly. So that is what when I was a child, I was participating in all, not just debate, quiz, poem writing, recitation, story writing. So all these things, so that was there with me. So I was reading, and in my free time I was practicing all these, and even I have made one diary where I was putting all those things for my debate competitions. Any new thing can be added, any new topic can be done, so that when there will be something new, so that I can speak on that. So these are the things that I used to do in my school days, and I don't go
so you are the older
outside
sibling in your family house.
Sorry,
you are the older sibling, so you are the big sister of everybody.
I have 2 siblings, one brother. He's also a chemist, and a sister, and she's doing her PhD at IIT Delhi.
Okay, so your family is fully educational family. I can see that. So you have a focus on education. So how do you feel to go when you started in chemistry? So when did
Yeah,
you
so
started?
here I would just like to say you something, like as I said that I liked science during my school days. Like I was like very good at mathematics, and then when I studied my higher secondary, then I took physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology, and I found chemistry very interesting. As we all know that it plays an important role in our daily life, but the most important thing that why I chose chemistry was that I liked organic chemistry classes the most. So that means I would like to even now convey my gratitude to the organic chemistry teachers of our school and college. That so I liked those classes very much, and particularly organic chemistry. So therefore, I chose chemistry honors in my BSc. And BSc also I have studied just I studied in a college which is near to my hometown. And then I studied MSc with an organic chemistry as the specialization in Ravenshaw College. And Ravenshaw College is one of the oldest colleges, and also one of the best colleges of Odisha.
So
So there, what I liked it. Now it has become a university, but when I was studying, it was like a college, and I liked organic reactions and their mechanism. And here, there also, I was inspired by the organic chemistry teachers who are teaching the course, and classes. So these are the things why I liked organic chemistry. So it was just from the beginning I liked organic chemistry. I mean, these are the classes which I like most in my 12th standard BSc as well as in my MSc.
You are from a very small place in Odisha, right? And with from
Yeah, very small place,
yeah, and a very ordinary family,
very
and
ordinary family.
yes, and your journey is really, really amazing and very inspiring to us, all of us. So, actually, I want to know that you told us that you are very curious about the things happening in the nature and the things why it is happening and how it is happening. So, as like me and Dipta, we choose our line with biology because we are really, really interested in what is happening with the living things. And then you choose the chemistry first, and then you convert it, means with specialization you are trying to do with organic chemistry. So my point is, from which point actually you think about that I should choose chemistry, not the other subjects, and what is the amazing things happen to you that actually bent you to that line? So can you share that story with us, please?
Yeah, so that I think I have already told you, like chemistry classes, organic chemistry classes were my favorite. Like I like them. I like the organic reactions, mechanisms. So, and finally, after completing my MSc, I like the idea of creating new molecules. So
Ah,
that is what, I was, liked organic chemistry classes, and I wanted to explore more in organic chemistry. So I thought to do a PhD in organic chemistry. And the thing is, the other branches, I liked all the things. Like I also liked mathematics, and later I liked biology. That I wanted to explore my knowledge in organic chemistry to understand the biological system. So in that
yeah.
way, I get into the biology, and that was very late, like almost like my last postdoctoral years. So this is how I came to biology from chemist and to biology.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
and as you say, that from after completing my MSc, I went to IIT Kanpur for doing my PhD. And as you say that from my place, many of our women, particularly the female scholars, they want to establish themselves, within our states. So they are very good, and all we have a lot of students in our BSc and MSc. So many of them, try to do something there. So for me, to go to IIT Kanpur was also a big step. So that is what, and that was even I would say that was one of the turning points in my scientific career. So, so there, even my parents never said initially that I to go to do a PhD. But then, once I started, everything was okay. That,
Yeah, I can see that from your means very interesting profile. So you have received two very means not two, actually Humboldt, Marie Curie, and then Bhatnagar and Santi Saru. My God, that's a very like interesting things to us. And I was thinking that when you started your PhD in Kanpur IIT, and after that, how can you tell us that how you means prepare yourself for this for getting this amazing scholarships like Humboldt scholarship and then Marie Curie scholarship, because many of us is actually from the science background, not all of us, of course, but how you prepare yourself to get this kind of scholarship?
yeah, I just believe that one is the chief architect of one's future. Like মানুষ নিজের ভাগ্যে নিজেই তৈরি করে. So that was like in my background mind. So as you know that after completing my MSc, I went to IIT Kanpur. I got admitted at IIT Kanpur for my PhD degree with Professor F.A. Khan. And Professor Khan is one of the eminent organic chemists of our country. Since I went from village to IIT Kanpur, so my main goal was to achieve something. So I went there with a passion that somehow I would do, and I would achieve something where my parents would be, proud of that. So what I was, actually, even I would share my journey as a researcher. Even I would say that it began at IIT Kanpur, and where I gained expertise on a range of organic chemical transformations. And here what happened that I also learned the importance of hard work and dedication in research. So just I would like to share, like Professor Khan, he was very much what is it, disciplined and very thorough on his research field, and the way he guided us made ourselves independent and hardworking. So what I would like to share something, like when my initial days of PhD, I was like learning how to carry out experiments. So really, I did not have any exposure to organic experiments even in the lab. So many of them were not working and they're not successful. Even 1 year, past 1 year, I did not get any new results. Uh, but I was very enthusiastic about the learning process. And I don't think anybody would imagine that I used to spend most of my time in the lab. So like I was repeatedly and continuously, and also I was reading a lot of research and review articles, writing research papers, and with that I gradually gaining exposure to scientific research, And also I was successful in publishing a number of research articles and good quality research articles from PhD and from India, and during that days like 2000 and all. So that was like that improved my skills, and gradually I gained confidence. So this is how I think it helped, because I worked hard, and I also gained the confidence that okay, if I work hard, or if anyone works hard, they would be really successful. So that was what I understood at IIT Kanpur. Before that, I was thinking, oh, when I first went to IIT Kanpur, so I was thinking, oh, I was feeling today very sick, I won't go to the lab, I would take a bit rest, and I would go late. But those things slowly went away, and I became very much curious that how can I get a good result. And so everything is changed, and I myself, like it was not like Professor Khan was asking me you have to work hard, but I myself was like focused to do something new and achieve something.
So you are saying that if anyone is determined on what he or she has to do, they finally can.
Yeah. I think if they're determined and they do hard work, I'm sure they could achieve whatever they want. And also I would like to share, life is always like a risk. It's not that if you take risk, we would be successful, but we must keep on going. So that is what I think I would like to say.
We should not stop with the hurdles. Yes.
Yeah, we should not stop that. Okay, this thing is not working. That it won't work, or something like we take a risk. For instance, take an example. I came from from a village to IIT Kanpur and won't achieve anything and go. But then also I have to find my way. So that is the thing. Like we have to come to the terms like whatever life gives us. And I would also like to share coming out from the comfort zones. Like there people just go for a job or something like that, and they're very good scholars. What is it? So I came out from the comfort zone, and I also believe like all the magic that happens outside your comfort zone. Similarly, in the research also, like if chemistry, I was studying organic chemistry. So if I would be just concentrating and focusing on organic synthesis, possibly today I would not have explored the new things that I am doing from organic chemistry and biology at the interface. So I always believe to keep on our giving the best, and then see whatever would happen. I think that is what my motto.
Yeah. So, can you share some picture with us from your college life and university life and your postdoc places?
I think Sumit got disconnected. He was getting the picture. So I was the most important thing. I was looking at your CV. So from Jagatsinghpur to Kanpur IIT, it's a big transition for you from your part.
Yes, that's one of the turning point in my scientific career, I would say, or my academic journey.
So how did you choose IIT Kanpur? So because there are some good universities in Orissa also.
Yeah. At that time, I did not actually. I haven't applied anywhere.
Okay.
I just applied at IIT Kanpur, and I got it, and I got admitted at IIT Kanpur.
Wow.
So this is like my SBM college where I have studied both +2 and BSc. That's near to my hometown. So this is our BSc, last day.
Yes.
Our teachers are here. You can see many, female scholars are there during BSc and MSc as well.
So I am now.
They are also doing well in their life. So
you are in Ravenshaw College. The Biju
Ravenshaw is one of the best colleges for Odisha, and so from there, so this is like our batchmates, and this is me. We went to a picnic, I think Nandan Kanan, and then okay, we would come. Now we
So
have
yes,
finished
we will
MSc
come
and
to
PhD,
these
and then
things.
we will
Yes.
come to the postdoctoral research thing. And this also happened in such a way that I could get the experience in 3 different labs. So that was also something, quite,
So
difficult
I
for
will.
me, because me, something like I have never explored anything outside other than the lab and home. But somehow it happened that I could go to Germany, France, and then Cambridge. Uh, so, uh, so here, just I would like to share at IIT Kanpur actually that I realized that chemistry is the central science, and that is creative. Uh, I would say even chemistry is the molecular science, and that can be explored at the interface of other scientific disciplines. Like Moonmoon asked that about the prestigious international fellowships, and how you thought of, or you received those. So actually, after completing my PhD, I had just received a postdoctoral fellowship in the group of Professor H.U. Razik at FU Berlin. So from IIT Kanpur, like I worked for 5.5 years for my PhD, and then I moved to Professor Razik's group, and there actually I had applied for the Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship, and I was awarded the and I would also like to say, even before coming to Germany, as I was telling, that I was a bit introvert, like with less exposure to the outer world, even now. However, I gradually came to know the European culture, like from the Germany, and became more confident and outspoken than before. Though, like, it is not that I am very outspoken now. So this, like this, Germany actually I went. So there actually culture, and uh, and then I was working there on transition metal catalyzed transformations. This is also in organic chemistry and to synthesize biologically active compounds, and I could get productive results. But the thing is, hello,
We can
can
hear
you
you.
hear me?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
we can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you,
Yeah.
just beat it.
Oh, that's why we are muted ourselves.
Yeah, sure. Professor has been a great and supportive mentor, like throughout the research career, and there also I could make a few good friends who are like in academia and industry as well, and I'm still in touch with them. So then, when I was in Germany, actually, I had applied for the Marie Curie Fellowship in the group of Professor Shankar Balasubramanian at the University of Cambridge, because actually I wanted to learn something unique by applying my knowledge and expertise in synthetic organic chemistry, to understand the biological system. And so when I was applying for the Marie Curie Fellowship, that was like my second year of postdoctoral studies in Germany. I had also got an opportunity to work in the group of Professor Janine Posse at Paris. So these are the things where I did not say anywhere, because you can understand as postdoctoral researchers. So I'm just telling that. So that is like Professor Posse is again, very renowned organic chemist, and she has also a lot of dedication to research, and this inspired me, like, to continue the higher study. So she is also an, very renowned, and she has a lot of dedication to research. I think I was also inspired by her, and continued my studies like diligently, without thinking that okay, it's not possible for a woman or something like that. So there, like, I was working on multi-step synthesis of natural products, and after completing a year in France, I received the Marie Curie Fellowship, and I moved to University of Cambridge.
So,
Yeah.
on the lighter note, I want to ask you something. So, when you came from Kanpur, so you are coming from village to IIT Kanpur, then to Berlin. So,
Yeah.
is there any language problem you are facing in Germany? Because we have heard that Germany is little bit not English speaking nation. and then Paris. How was your language barrier and how was your life in
Yeah, sure. I was facing a lot of language barrier in Germany, but the thing is, I was in Berlin. At least there, people speak English, and I was all alone in his group, like the only Indian, I think, in his group. It was a bit difficult. That's what I said. That slowly, gradually, I started, knowing the European culture, and then it was, I did not find much difficulties in Paris or in Cambridge, but I could overcome those things, as you know that I mostly spend time in the lab, and most of them, research scholars, they speak in English, with me at least, although they speak with them in Germany, but whenever I need something, so they speak in English.
So have you
And
traveled
it's
around?
also very difficult for them initially to understand my accent in English, but slowly it was okay.
So did you travel through the Europe? You have visited any other countries?
Yeah, that was the no, not really. I haven't traveled much in Europe.
So you have been to Paris and Germany, but you haven't to other countries to visit or so for seminar also did you visit or not only?
No. For seminar, we went from France to what is there? To Spain for a seminar. So that's all the group members we moved. And from also from Germany, we went to Bratislava for a conference. That is the whole group. We all of us went, and all of us have to present. So in that way, I attended those seminars. And another also, I went to Italy with the group of like Professor Shankar Balasubramanian. So that's a group retreat where we all went to the Italy for a group conference. And I think I have shared one photo from the Spain where from Paris group, like we all went there for a conference. Hello, in the photos, I think I have shared one of those.
We have to find. Yes.
Not that one. Previous. Yeah, here, this one.
So this is in Spain.
Yeah, in Spain.
Wow.
This was in Germany, in Berlin.
So there also you are working on organic chemistry.
Yeah. I was working on organic chemistry in Germany. I was working on organic chemistry with Professor Kosi's lab. And then I went to Professor Balasubramanian, where I was working at the interface of organic chemistry and biology. Sure, so even that is, I would share, this is another turning point in my scientific or academic career, to go and work with Professor Shankar Balasubramanian, because as you know that he is one of the leaders, one of the experts in nucleic acid research, and you can really know a lot of new things and a lot of new ideas, even how to look at the projects. Like, it's not that everything we should do, and we should do something which is very important. So those things, like I could learn from my stay in Cambridge. And that photo what you are seeing, that was my last day. Many photos are merged in one frame. So yeah.
So when you finish your postdoc, so why did you think to go back to India? Because we want to feel your views. Why you want to go back to India, not staying here and apply for position here?
Yeah, sure. Sure. This is like one of the things, like it was my sole interest, like to establish myself in academia. From Germany also I got one or two opportunities to come back to academia. However, I thought not to complete my Marie Curie fellowship and to learn something new or unique, so that it would look different. So that's the reason, like, I went to Cambridge and to work at least at the interface. But why I come to India means, always it was my interest that I to set my independent research program, and also that was at at the interface of chemistry and biology. And therefore, you see that I did 3 postdocs. It's just to get sufficient expertise so that you can do something independent research. And I also wanted to serve my nation. So that is one of the goal that I wanted to do independent research. And it's always my goal that whenever when I went to Germany, as you know, that I haven't even explored much in those countries, though I liked all the European culture, food, and their lab infrastructure. I have learned a lot of things and gained a lot of expertise there. But my only goal was to come back to India from the very beginning, that I wanted to teach and actively engaged myself in independent research. That was my real goal from IIT Kanpur.
So I was looking through all the scientific achievements you have made and all the scientific career going on in India. So I was going through you have gained the Santi Swarup Bhatnagar award. That is the most highest award in India in science. So I was looking, there is only near about 3% women are getting this. So near about 600 men and 20 women have got this award. So can you discuss why this difference in gender biasness in science? So why women are not getting so much opportunities or not so many higher position in science?
No, as you see that, as I said, that the number of women scholars, drastically decreased from BSc to MSc and from MSc to PhD. But when the transition occurs from PhD to independent research, then you see that the number is less. And particularly in chemistry, in disciplines like physics, mathematics. So that will see a very less women. Even in science, most of the fields in science. But that is why when we are in less in number, then consequently only a few of them are getting recognized. So if you see the ratio of the faculty members or independent groups, then I think the ratio is quite good in winning the award, I mean. But the thing is, we are also the representation of women is also low. Sure. So this is very important to retain them in
Why you are
senior
thinking the women who
academic
are getting
positions.
through the BSc to MSc, MSc to PhD, and PhD to independent PI? So where is the lack in the line? Where is the path is breaking down?
No, actually, as you know, that a lot of issues like a lot of things are there. There are many reasons for this, decreasing number of women in the senior roles, I would say. So that is because of our social hindrance. Many things can happen. Like one thing is like caring. You have to take when you settle yourself, you have to take care of your family as well as your children. So there women think what is the best suitable profession that they can choose, because that they can manage both the time for their family as well as work. So for if you want success in academia, no, we have to be at least whatever I feel from my views, long academic hour and perseverance, like continuously doing. It's not that this year I do and something and next I want to do, I can't give time. So these are the things that is required a lot of efforts and time, and so that is problem. So I think that should be worked out, like one should work out flexible working time and all those. And sometimes also women do not get opportunity, because even if they're PhD or something, because that when both husband and wife, they work at the same place or something, so they don't get enough opportunities nearby. So that was also one of the problems for many successful women, choosing something which they could do possibly better. That I feel. I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, I think you are really right about those things. Yes.
So these are the, I think, problems that people are facing in India. But I think if you have to do something like flexible time for them, and I think they can also do. Actually, what is it? It's not that I said recently. It's not that men are better scientists or women are not. It's just about giving your time. As you know, all the time in school, college, BSc, MSc, all the women they equally perform like men. So they can also do equally well, and they can even bring new perspectives. I feel because everyone has a different set of idea. So our science or whatever of a nation or anything that would progress only when all of us participate and equally. So that is something. It's not that they're contributing a lot, they're teaching, they're doing something. So that's also they're contributing a lot to the nation. But we are just talking about it not to science. They
Yeah.
also bring something new to science.
So you are now in Bengal, right? So you can speak Bengali very well, or you cannot speak Bengali. You can speak Oriya and English and Hindi. So is it a problem for you staying there in Bengal to not knowing the language, or it's not a problem at all?
It's
I think
very close to
yeah.
my mother tongue. Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah. So actually, this is like Bengali is very close to my mother tongue. So I understand Bengali. I also know a few songs in Bengali, and I can even recognize and write all the alphabets and can read some textbooks if it is
Nice.
simple. But the thing is, I cannot very speak fluently. I would make some grammatical issues and all. Grammatical problems. I make a few mistakes and I speak Bengali.
Yeah, that I understand. We are in Odisha, but we can understand the Odia, but we cannot write or not understand the genders or something like that. So I can
So I
understand.
can write Bengali,
Oh, I
like also, yeah, I can write. I have learned that how to write Bengali alphabets.
yeah. So one is my like general curiosity. When we were in means I was doing PhD in Odisha, United Orkela. So we saw that means most of Odisha people, they are very like they're very what you can say, religious. Like they like puja, they are very regular to going to mandir, and
Oh, yes, sure, sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So in
you
Odia, the
have
culture,
yeah.
they worship and yeah, yeah. So they believe in God and me too. I also believe in God and pray. But the thing is, I don't believe in like superstitions. Uh, Otherwise, I also pray God. I don't go to mandir. I pray at home. So
Okay.
this.
Yeah. So yes, I that time I saw that they are very means they have faith in poet Jagannath Dev.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We all, I think, we all have faith in
Yeah.
Jagannath. Yeah.
They used to say, my father used to say Jagannath Mangala Karantu.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, this is the culture we
Yeah.
have just learned from home that
Yeah.
whenever we go somewhere, do a puja, do a namaskar, pranam to the Thakur, and then go. So that was this thing. So this is the way. Like when I was also studying in school, Thakur Anukul Chandra. I have read all those things. His stories, his life, and all those things. I was also quite inspired by him. So even my parents, they always read, go to the ashram, and they do the satsang. In that way, from the childhood, also we are connected to Bengal, like doing the Bengali prayers every day for Thakur Ankul and all. So that is there from in Odia culture. That is sure because as I am born brought up, so I come across also with all these, praying God, doing puja, doing bhajan. So all these things, that happens every day. I think my parents are even do more than us.
So we all know that you love to study science and scientific related books, journal, and scientific discovery. We all know that. So, what do you think about like our cultural books like Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and then Ved and everything? What is your
I
point of?
believe on all these things, like, because that is people have been believed for a long time. So I do not want to like say that this is not good or something. I myself also studied Gita when and read many times. And many of my debate competitions, I used to say the first two lines, like few lines from that, like yada yada hi dharmasya. So I used to say even so few lines of competitions in school and colleges. So I think,
Nice.
and also karmenu badhikaroste na phalesu kadachana. I think these are very good teachings for all of us. So that is in that way I do follow.
Yeah.
I was going through all the things. So you have received so many awards. मतलब আপনি অনেকগুলো অ্যাওয়ার্ড পেয়েছেন. So when you
Uh,
receive the Shanti Sarovar Bhatnagar award, because that is our independent PI, as getting an award as an independent PI. How was your feelings to getting it? Because you are the second person, you're first woman from Orissa, but second person in total from Orissa. Because last award was getting 1983, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so how was your feeling? Because I can see in your mothers and father, they are so much proud of you. So what is your, how did you get the call, and how did you
Yeah,
feel when you
they
received
could
the
not
award?
think of, actually they could not think of I won. Okay, I received the what is it, before that Swarna Jayanti award too. But this one, they never know that, after receiving, people will go to their home. They will find where is their home, and all the media people, they went. Like, we did not call them. They just came and found somewhere that this is my home. And that is why they could not think of. They just started crying, and they were not ready for anything that people would come or something like that. They haven't even called. They just immediately come to our place. Yeah, actually, how like they could not really control their emotion even during the first interview. What I would say, like, if you say in Bengali, I would say like আমি এই পুরস্কার পেয়ে খুব humbled, and I would say like কঠিন পরিশ্রম সাধনার ফল, that is and I also think that this award also in ভবিষ্যতে ওর ভালো কাজ করার প্রেরণা দেবে. That's what I feel. But I was humbled really to receive this prize. I feel the award has encouraged me to work even harder and proceed towards my goal. And I would say this has been the result of my hard work and perseverance, that continuous work over the years. And we will definitely focus on our work on the that we have been doing, structure and function of nucleic acids by using organic chemistry tools. And another important thing is this award also gives a sense of responsibility, like to infuse an urge in young scholars. And as you have been telling, that there are not many women SSB recipients, and therefore I think this could inspire young generation to study science, keep motivation and dedication to continue in the path of science. I would just say these are the few things that come to my mind. It's not that when you get something, it's only that you should be happy, but you have also a sense of responsibility, for the young generation. And that this could also motivate the young women, and men both, not only women, that people can do work. It's also possible from a rural place, from a village, to go and reach at senior positions of country. So that was the good thing. But other thing is like many of the things you would find in me, like I am very introvert, I am not very outspoken, I don't go outside, like many of the limitations I do have. So so I'm trying to work on those.
The overcome of the limitation is the goal, your achievements can you have achieved. So that's enough for all of us, the young scientists, to see and look up to you and feel the things so you have done. So I haven't known. So you are my first scientist who have got this award. I am talking to, and I am feeling so proud of myself because I am now talking to you. So what was your feeling? So when they call you or they have sent you a letter, what was the things?
Yeah, they sent me a letter, and it was really, I I was even, that was even announced live. The name was announced live. I was hearing, and my parents were also, hearing that when, about the CSRDG, he was reading out the names in the, CSR day. So it was really, I cannot say. I was almost like my parents you saw in the interview. That was the same thing. It came to me that,
So are you
that I was a bit emotional that I received that.
So are you expecting this award?
Not expecting, but anyway, my nomination was there, so I believe there was a fair chance.
Okay.
So you mentioned before that you were thinking, means you were actually an organic chemist, but you were thinking to apply your findings on biology. Uh, I think from your the last postdoc which was in Cambridge under Dr. Balasubramaniam.
Yeah.
From there about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so we saw that your now means you got your this Bhatnagar prize based on your findings on small molecules like small
Yeah.
drugs that has impact on cancer. Actually, that can.
Sure. Yeah. Although I have been working, in organic synthesis, self-assembly of nucleosides, but the award, whatever you were telling, is correct. It was based on my research on small molecules targeting DNA secondary structures and regulation of gene expression. So though all those the experience in organic chemistry, because we have been using like organic chemistry tools to study the biological function of DNA secondary structures. So all the things that I have been studied, and again the experience like organic chemistry also helped me to achieve this. As I would just like to share one or two lines in Bengali. Like আমি রাসায়নিক জীববিজ্ঞানের গবেষণা করি, যা what I believe কি চিকিৎসা ক্ষেত্রে একটা নতুন দিক খুলতে পারে। and আমার আমার যে লক্ষ্য হলো কি নিউক্লিক অ্যাসিড দ্বারা সুস্থ সেলের কিছু ক্ষতি না করে ক্যান্সার সেলকে ধ্বংস করা। So that is means in Bengali I'll say. So we wanted to we want to selectively target cancer cells over the healthy cells. So that is what we have been doing. And if you have to ask me like three keywords, I can describe my research work like small molecules, nucleic acids, and self-assembly. So these are the three things that we have been working this. As an organic chemist, we develop new methods and we synthesize biologically active natural compounds, and like carbazole alkaloids. I just want to give one example which can be isolated from plants. And the thing that what the methods we use are simple and practical. Like we don't use a large number of steps, and we try to develop a new and innovative method in the lab. And as you said, with the range of expertise I have, like this chemical biology, so I thought to explore my research program at the interface of chemistry and biology. Like we have been developing new tools, like we have been using bioorthogonal chemistry to target DNA secondary structures. So as a biologist, I think you know better. So I would just like to briefly introduce, like nucleic acids are the largest and the most common organic molecules, I would say, found in the living organism. And the other three molecules are carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. And these four, like nucleic acids, carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins, are also known as biomolecules, and these are also present in our daily diet. So this is how I tell the students when I show what you are doing. And we know that two nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, and DNA is the blueprints of life, as it makes the proteins, one the other biomolecule present found in living organism, and which is protein is essential for our cellular function. And as we know that DNA makes RNA through transcription, and RNA makes protein. So if we can target DNA by small molecules, then we can block the transcription, that DNA can't make the RNA. So therefore, DNA has been used as the early target for developing the chemotherapeutic anti-cancer drugs. And as we all know that these drugs can't distinguish between healthy and cancer cells, and therefore they have a lot of undesired side effects, and they are like more in the human genome. So on the other hand, the DNA secondary structures are widespread in cancer cells, and therefore we thought of targeting DNA secondary structures would be an alternative and effective strategy for anti-cancer therapeutics. So therefore we have been using a new method, like we have been using DNA, or even recently we have used RNA as the targets to synthesize their own ligands. So here we have tried to combine organic synthesis and biophysical screening to one step, and this is called like a target directed synthesis. And we have used like classic organic reactions to understand the biological system. And I would also like to share here like the natural selection process, or the DNA and RNA targets select their own fragments, and then forces them to react with each other to give the compound. So therefore in this way we can share, and we have also done something new here, innovative, that we have immobilized the DNA nano templates and gold coated magnetic nanoparticles. So like we can show even this approach as a marriage between chemistry and biology in the presence of nano materials. So here what we have developed a selective molecule that bind with the DNA secondary structure found in the scenic gene, which is overexpressed in breast, colon, and lung cancer. And therefore, this also the molecule also inhibits cancer growth and also leads to the death of cancer cells. And this molecule only binds to the DNA quadruplex and not to the duplex DNA, and selectively kills the cancer cells without doing any harm to the normal cells. Here I just discussed a part of our work, which was published in Nature Communication in 2017. And so therefore, based on the high cellular activity of this compound, we have also used this approach, and we can even say economical and fast screening method to synthesize ligands for like DNA I motif, which is another class of DNA secondary structure, and recently for TAR RNA, which is, as you know, that TAR RNA is present in HIV virus, and HIV causes AIDS, and which is a major threat to global human health. So we thought, as a synthetic organic chemist, if we can use the TAR RNA as the target, can we develop potent antiviral agents? And so I talk about two keywords. One is small molecule. We synthesize small molecules, biologically active, synthetic, and natural compounds in the lab. And we also develop new organic chemistry-based tools to target DNA, that is nucleic acids, DNA, and as well as RNA. And the third keyword of our research work is the self-assembly, where we have studied the self-assembly of nucleic acid components to build like biomimetic systems. We all know that nucleobases contain alphabets A, T, G, and C. And also it contains hydrogen bonding sites and coordination binding sites, so which can be used to build artificial molecular systems. So we have used both guanosine and cytidine to form hydrogels that show enzyme mimetic properties and antibacterial properties. And we have also we used guanosine derivative to make synthetic ion channels. So these are the like a few things I summarize in 3 words, like the small molecule from nucleic acid. We can take even DNA, small molecule DNA, and self-assembly. So these are the what we have been doing. So that nucleic acid self-assembly that I have started, in our lab.
Yeah.
That is
So,
new, of course.
so
Yeah.
we have lots of listeners who is not from biology background. So I can say that your lab is actually trying to develop a kind of small molecule drug that has very lesser side effect in the
Hmm.
cancer therapeutic,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. And we are trying structure and function of DNA, that is non-canonical DNA secondary structures. We know DNA is double helical, but there are like 4-stranded DNA secondary structures, I
Yeah.
motifs, DNA quadruplexes, I motifs. So we have been trying to target alternative DNA secondary structures or even RNA secondary structures to stop the transcription or even translation, so that we can stop it in the cancer cells. And these structures like DNA quadruplexes, I motifs, they are more widespread. They are widespread in the cancer cells, so they are easily detected in cancer cells. So if we can really target them, then possibly we can have less side effects. So that is the thing we have been doing, a part of our work. So of course,
Yeah.
so far it was the major part of our research.
So your lab basically working on cancer now, or any other disease you are also planning to work on, or
Yeah. We are trying to develop some antimicrobial agents that we
yeah,
can do in our lab. Like, of course, we have used star RNA as a target, and we have developed some compounds which show antiviral, not antiviral properties, which can inhibit like the in vitro assays in like inhibit TAT-TAR interactions. They could be potential antiviral, but we can only do in collaboration because we don't have the sufficient expertise, or we don't have the lab and all. But we are working on cancer, and we are trying to establish on antibacterial properties. So these two we are trying to do. Like there are also DNA and RNA targets where we can target them and make antibacterial agents. So we are trying to use our method, that nanoparticle attached DNA and RNA targets, to identify the new molecules using bioorthogonal chemistry. Here also we are using organic chemistry only to identify something, a new drug like a compound for that. So in that way, we will be working in future for bacterial, not microbial. I'm saying antibacterial drugs as well.
yeah. So we actually we all are knowing about means known about your scientific careers and everything. So we would love to know how you means managing your family life and this much of big scientific career in your present situation.
Yeah, like this is true. Like it's not only me, like many working women in our country, so they manage both family and career. And I would like to share, like balancing family and a career in science is challenging for women. And to be successful, as I already told, that as I already shared, that in academia long working hours and perseverance are constantly required. And as we all know, that family support is essential for dedicating more hours to research.
Yeah.
And my parents and my husband have been endlessly, I would say, supportive and encouraging for my studies and professional career. And also, I would say, the sacrifice of my kids and also my family also helped me to etch out long working hours necessary for academia. So I would also really thank them that they give me a lot of time that I could spend in the lab and do achieve something. This thing. But as you know, for me, like my family started quite late. so I could do as much possible before. So that was the
So your
thing that helped me in my career.
so your husband is Bengali. So how do you meet, and from where did you start after giving birth?
Somehow we met somehow through a friend, and actually I met him at ISER Kolkata only.
Okay.
He was at that time in UK, but he visited and all. And in 2009 only, like I was settled. But you see, the thing that although we got married, he was still staying in Bristol, and I was in ISER Kolkata. And that's how I could go for 3 months in 2010 to Bristol, to the lab of Professor Stephen Mann. Since as you know, my husband is a cardiac surgeon, so he usually goes to work, and spend a lot of all his time there in the hospital. So what I was doing that, when the 3 months I went to, because in academia you can also go 45 days leave and
Yes.
all, during the when there is no teaching and all. So from Aisha, as we are teaching students,
Yes.
so that 45 days like May, June, July, I went like 2.5 months like that. So I went to Bristol, but I was actually, he was going from morning to coming back 9. I was also going from 8 to 8 in Bristol. So I haven't stopped that 2.5 months. Also, I worked and I learned from Stephen Mann, like that self-assembly hydrogel. I had a paper with him in soft matter during that 3 month, 2.5 month work. And finally, he said, "Oh, I would take only organic chemist in my group. I thought you are coming here because you are coming away from." Enjoy, but you are so serious and working all the time in the lab. I never imagined.
So
So
you have gone for a vacation and you have published a paper. That is the thing came of his life.
so I went as a visiting scholar to his group, but this was like without any this thing. But I got the official this thing as a visiting scholar. But I was getting my whatever position from Aisha Kolkata. I was getting my salary from there. So here I was just going and studying, but I was so serious that every day, Monday to Friday, I go from 8 to 8. And then finally told me, Professor Mann, "Oh, I never thought you came here to work. I thought you are just coming from your lab and get some holiday and vacation like that."
So that is the thing
So
we are also thinking, because you have got so when you change your lab from ISAR Kolkata to cultivation science.
so 2010, my husband was here, and 2011 he came back to Kolkata, and he joined in the R.N. Tagore
Okay.
hospital. And 2011, I was in Aisha Kolkata. He was in Kolkata, and Aisha Kolkata, and Kolkata is too much like
In Kalyani,
too much.
because I live there.
It's in Kalyani and it's in Jadavpur. So it's like too much difference, 70, 80 kilometers. And the way I am serious at work, many people from Aisha Kolkata also, they are going from, from Kolkata to this thing, Aisha Kolkata, and there is a bus which is going
Yes.
and they go every day and coming back. So I was trying to do on Friday, and in alternate weeks, like Friday coming and Monday. So this was like for me so much difficult to stay away from my lab Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and again going, because when I initially joined in Aisha Kolkata, I had the same passion. I was going there every day, Saturday, Sunday morning. I myself said the things how to do, show my students and all. So then it was really tough. And my husband, he could not even go. It was difficult for him even to go once in a month, because he said that if I start an operation and go here, if something happens to the patient, who would look at? So very rarely, one in a month or two, he visited, like Saturday, Sunday morning he visits, he has to come back in the same day, the next day morning. So because he said that, of course, I am telling other people to look at, but this is not a good thing in a profession, that the people or the patient you are attending, you have to leave unattended and leave it to somebody else. So in that way, like, he is also very serious and very eminent, I think, surgeon of Calcutta. of Kolkata. Okay.
Kolkata,
So,
yes.
so therefore, so it was quite tough for both of us. So he was staying here, and he like we had a flat here, and I was there in the this thing. And more, the thing is, Friday, Saturday, I was more interested that what I would do in Saturday, Sundays. So then one day I was sitting, I was somehow fever or something. I wrote the letter that I would go not in Monday, I would go 2 days later, Wednesday, to Aisha Kolkata. I could not go, it was like a fever. So I thought on that day to apply. I was looking at, my husband was also there on that day because I had really high fever. So there, so he was looking, he said, "You see, ISS Kolkata, until now I did not know ISS Kolkata is such a big institute and all,
Okay.
and it is an institute of national importance." So I did not know. So that because Aisha Kolkata just opened, we all know, and applied
Yes.
from there. So ISS Kolkata, I did not even, I haven't applied for a job also.
Okay.
So so the what happened is I just looked at, I wrote to the director at that time, Professor Kankan Bhattacharya, that
Yes.
kindly allow me to meet you. Then it's not that same sentence. I wanted to do some collaborative research with you. So I thought to start something in Saturday, Sunday, go and see what he's doing. And I am doing organic chemistry, and biology is my plan, and he's doing physical chemistry. Whether we can set up something in his lab with single molecule with the idea. So I went and meet with my ideas and said him, and he could not. He was thinking maybe no, there is ISA Kolkata. They are throwing me away because that's why I'm coming and meeting him. So then we have discussed, and in fact we have published 2 chemical science papers, and all on the on single molecule work that we have discussed with him. So he, that is later after I came and all. So he said, he talked to me and he came to know all these things. So he said, you can apply here and see if you can be selected, this thing. So then I came here to give a talk. I was very much scared if I said Kolkata, they will say that you are applying for a job or something. Somehow the things worked so well for me. And ISA Kolkata director was Professor R.N. Mukherjee at that time. He was
Yes.
also one of my esteemed teachers of IIT Kanpur.
Okay.
And Professor Kankan Bhattacharya was there. I think my application worked well. I was selected in ISS and I moved. So 2 things. One, I would say for my family, and that's what I was trying to say, that many women, they try to settle where their husband is, and in that way don't get the best opportunity. For
Yes.
me, the things worked out because I was too happy. ISS is also an institute of national importance,
Yes, of
and
course.
the ISS at that time, Aisha Kolkata is the budding research institute. Now it has everything, but at that time we are also involved in building up the infrastructure. That is,
Yes.
I was also even taking supervisory role in the women hostel and all those things, how to develop the things, how to build the infrastructure. But
Because
here
it was
everything
in
was
Mohanpur,
there.
yes. Yeah, it was in Mohanpur, so it was
Yeah.
not built up yet when you have joined and
Now,
started.
when I have
Now it is
joined,
a
it was in
big
the
start.
old campus. In fact, I had 100 square feet or something lab space. With that, we started something, doing simple that we can do. So I started with organic chemistry methods that can be done at this small place and all. And then at ISCS, actually, I set up my biology lab, both
Yes.
chemistry and biology. So in that way, no, I have received, moving to ISCS, helped a lot at that time.
Yes.
Uh,
So you have achieved so many things in so short time. So that is inspirational for us also, because
yeah.
we
So
look.
actually, it's not like achieve so much, but what I would say that I have tried my best at both the places. Like ISR Kolkata is now a very good institute. When I was there, even many of these colleagues, they are joined as assistant professors. So therefore, it is quite enriching for all of us to take part in scientific discussions. And at this phase, we are also, as I said already, that we are also engaged in the building the institute infrastructure and all. I would say, I really enjoyed working at ISA Kolkata and the teaching BSMA students. As already shared that I was also taking care of the women hostel for a period of 2 to 3 years, I think. And then I moved to ISCS in the year 2012. And ISCS, the Institute of National Importance, and we all know that C.V. Raman received was the first and the only Nobel laureate of our country in science. And ISCS has also got several, highly established research groups.
So yes,
And
Moonmoon Bhattacharya, who was the director, he also received the Bhatnagar Award, I think.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And we also in ISCS, like there's a competitive research atmosphere. Like all the people, they're doing high quality research, and they are engaged in many other things to, like editors of journals and all. So, and the infrastructure is also of high quality, and also they have been constantly upgrading. And this also attracts high quality research scholars and ISCS. So these are the things I have now already spent like 8 years at ISCS, and this is like extremely enriching and exciting for me. And this, by looking at everyone is good. This also gives me a lot of energy and enthusiasm to work even harder. So that is the thing. And our students, you see, they are also very good. They are cooperative. They try to do accomplish things, and we can also get good, I think, quality research scholars from JU, Calcutta University, Jadavpur University, and all those. So in that, and also other IITs also. So these are good students are also coming. Even we can get some research scholars. So in that way, it's my decision to move to ISS was also good at that time.
So thank you for all the discussion you are having with us, and we are literally proud of you. And as Indian and Moonmoon, and we are in a field of our science, so you are achieving so many things in so little time, and your dedication to your work. And now I think we will say goodbye to you and all our listeners, and you can have your dinner now. Because of us, it is getting late for you. I think you will join into your lab again. So thank you for joining with us and discussing your life and passion with us. We are just really humbly to accept your guidance. So we
Yeah,
will
thank
discuss
you.
many things for later also. If we have any questions, we can always have a chat, and we will
Yeah,
have.
sure, no problem. You can always
Yeah.
talk and discuss.
Thank you. I am just ending the broadcast now. So